She journaled every morning. She'd done the therapy, read the books, followed all the right accounts. From the outside, she looked like a woman doing the work. But every time a certain type of person walked into her life, she let them in. Every time a difficult conversation needed to happen, she went quiet. Every time something triggered her, she reached for her phone, her food, her next self-improvement plan. She wasn't healing. She was staying busy enough to not have to. And if you're honest with yourself right now, you might recognize her. Here's what nobody in the wellness space will say directly. There is a version of healing that is actually just a sophisticated form of avoidance. It looks like growth from the outside. It feels productive. It has good aesthetics. But underneath it, nothing has actually shifted. The same patterns are running. The same wounds are making the same decisions, just with better vocabulary. We're covering three things today: what real healing actually looks like versus what avoidance disguised as healing looks like, why the distinction matters more than most women realize, and what it actually takes to move from one to the other. Stay with me for all three. This channel is for women who are done with surface level growth. If you're ready to go to the actual root, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's get honest about what avoidance looks like when it's dressed up as healing. It looks like consuming content about trauma without examining your own. It looks like knowing all the right therapy language, triggers, nervous system, inner child, but using that language to explain your patterns rather than change them. It looks like being in a constant state of working on yourself that conveniently never requires you to have the hard conversation, set the boundary, or sit in the discomfort long enough for something to actually shift. Think of it like this. Imagine a woman with a splinter in her hand. Every day she reads about splinters. She buys the best tweezers. She joins a community of women who also have splinters. She talks about how the splinter got there and what it means and how it's shaped her. But she never actually takes it out, because taking it out means a moment of pain she's not ready for. The reading, the community, the understanding. None of that is wrong, but none of it removes the splinter. Real healing requires the moment of extraction, and that moment is uncomfortable in a way that no amount of preparation fully softens. Before I get to what that actually looks like, I need you to hear this next part clearly, because this is where it gets real. Here's why the distinction matters so much. When you're avoiding through the appearance of healing, your nervous system still runs the old programming. You just have a better narrative around it. So you'll understand exactly why you chose that person and choose someone identical 6 months later. You'll know precisely where your people-pleasing comes from and still say yes when you mean no. The insight without integration doesn't protect you. It just makes you more articulate about your own patterns while you repeat them. Here's the analogy. A pilot can study turbulence extensively, understand the physics, the causes, the patterns, but studying it is not the same as flying through it and learning to hold steady. The knowledge prepares you, but only the experience builds the skill. Emotional regulation is a skill. Boundaries are a skill. Sitting with discomfort without running from it, that is a skill. And skills are not built by understanding them. They are built by practicing them in the moments it costs you something. The third point is where this becomes something you can actually use. Stay with me. Stop right here. Think about one pattern in your life that you understand deeply, but are still repeating. That gap between knowing and changing, that is where your real healing work lives. This is the part I want you to write down. Real healing has a specific feeling, and it is not comfortable. It feels like saying the thing you've been swallowing. It feels like sitting with an emotion instead of immediately doing something about it. It feels like choosing differently in the exact moment your old self would have defaulted. It doesn't look like a morning routine. It looks like a Tuesday afternoon when someone says something that triggers you. And instead of reacting or retreating, you pause, feel it fully, and respond from a grounded place. That 5-second gap between stimulus and response, that is where healing actually lives. So here is what real healing asks of you. Stop asking what happened to you and start asking how you're going to respond differently from now on. Stop collecting insight and start making different choices in small moments. Stop waiting to feel ready and start building the evidence, one moment at a time, that you are a woman who can handle what she feels. That is how the pattern breaks, not in a breakthrough moment, in 1,000 small moments of choosing differently. I want to leave you with this. The woman who is genuinely healing is not the one with the most self-awareness. She's the one who takes her self-awareness into the room with her and uses it when it's hard. She still gets triggered. She still has hard days. But she no longer lets the trigger make the decision. She no longer lets the hard day become a hard month. She has built, through practice, not perfection, the capacity to feel without fleeing. That capacity is available to you, but it is built in the fire, not beside it. You cannot think your way there. You have to live your way there. One moment, one choice, one small act of not running at a time. That is healing. Everything else is preparation. If this challenged you, good. Save this video. Come back to it when you feel yourself slipping into the comfortable version of growth.